let's go ahead and take a look at the anatomy of the pelvis now. Come up to sitting, ladies. So this down here is considered our pelvis, or our pelvic bowl, okay? And the bones in our pelvis are oddly shaped, but very, very useful in shock absorption. So this is called the ilium, this bone here, or this section of the bone here. And this is the ischium. And this is the pubis. And right here is where the pubic symphysis is, okay? And like I mentioned earlier, these are our sits bones, S-I-T-Z, after Mr. Sits. And those are the bones that you can actually feel when you're sitting up, okay? And in between our pubic bone and our sits bones is a triangle. And that triangle, we're trying to get flat and parallel to the floor as much as possible when we're sitting in our neutral pelvis, which we're going to learn about today. In between this triangle is a web of musculature, and in that web of musculature, that's the pelvic floor. That's so well known. Right here is the acetabulum, and this is where the femur bone sits, and this is your hip socket, okay? So it's called your acetabulum, and it's stuck right in there. Let's see. So when we're looking for a neutral pelvis, where in our work we're trying to bring our body into as much neutral as we can, one of the ways to find it is by lining this bony protrusion up with this bony protrusion flat. So these are the anterior superior iliac spines. Those are their fancy names. And then this is the pubic symphysis. All right, and when you line these up flat across the top, hopefully your lumbar spine, your thoracic spine, and your cervical spine are going to have their natural curves in them, okay? Another way to look at this is sideways, and roughly the anterior superior iliac spine and the posterior superior iliac spine will line up. Okay, let's move your arm here, Herman. And that's one way to find it sideways, so that they'll be lined up. And that's what we're going to refer to as neutral pelvis, okay? So let's go ahead and have a little image for our neutral pelvis. All right, ladies, go ahead and lie down onto your backs, and let's go hook lying with your knees bent, heels sits bone distance apart. And now take a moment and bring your hands right onto your navel. Good, a little bit lower. And our goal is to get those hip bones, the ASIS, and the pubic symphysis in a flat plane across the top. And as you do this, your lower back will be engaged and your belly will be engaged nice and tight, okay? And that is what we're going to call our neutral pelvis. That's the most shock-absorbing position for your pelvis to be in when you're moving throughout your day. Go ahead, put your hands down by your sides now, ladies, and let's imagine that we have actually a clock on our pelvis, okay? So the clock is going to lay flat across the top here, okay? And the 12 o'clock is going to be up by your rib cage, and your 6 o'clock is going to be down by your pubic bone. The 9 o'clock will be on your right hip bone, or anterior superior iliac spine, whichever you choose to call it, and on your left hip bone, okay? And now let's put a marble right in the middle of our clock. In your 12 o'clock. So now your lower back will start reaching towards the ground. It doesn't necessarily have to touch. The most important thing is that your belly button hollows in. And now roll your marble all the way to 6 o'clock and arch your back. Good. And now exhale, roll your marble all the way to 12 o'clock. Feel your navel go hollow down, allow your back to widen. And inhale, roll your marble all the way to 6 o'clock and arch your back. And again, exhale, roll it to 12. And inhale, roll it to 6. And one more time, exhale, roll it to 12. And now roll back into neutral, where your 2 hip bones and your pubic bone are flat across the top. Your lower back has its natural lordotic curve. And remember, this is what we're going to call neutral pelvis. And rest. Upside Down Pilates is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Honolulu. We offer solo, duet, and trio lessons, post-rehab conditioning, small group equipment and mat-based lessons, comprehensive teacher trainings, and anatomy and biomechanics classes. All of our teachers are comprehensively trained by Lisa Orrig and certified through the Pilates Method Alliance. Scheduling and payment is easily accessible at www.upsidedownpilates.com or call us toll-free at 1-888-751-6950.